Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and like. Our series begins with a little girl named Yuri. Because her mother used to leave her alone a lot, she often felt lonely. That's why she always wished she had an older brother. One day, we see her sitting down, turning on the TV, and coming across a music band. She starts watching them, and the band is called Trixion. 3 years later, Yuri grows older and is still a big fan of the same band, which is made up of three brothers. The first is Haruka, the second Han, and the third is Minho. Then, one day at school, her mother calls to tell her that she's getting remarried and that Yuri's dream will finally come true. She'll now have older siblings because her new stepfather has sons. Her mom tells her to come home quickly to welcome them. Yuri is overjoyed and rushes home. But when she walks in, she's shocked to find out that her new stepbros are none other than the members of the band Trixion. A month passes, and we see that Yuri has moved into their house and is now living with the three brothers. She also transfers to their school, and it's her first day there. When she comes downstairs in the morning, she finds them fighting, which really upsets her. She had always thought they were close and loved each other, but ever since she moved in, all she sees is them arguing and not getting along at all. Their manager warns her to be careful not to blow her cover or let anyone find out she's their sister. She agrees. After school, she comes back home and finds them still fighting, so she goes up to her room. While flipping through magazines, she sees articles claiming the brothers are very close and loving. This makes her sad because she knows it's all lies. She decides to try bringing them closer together by throwing a party for the four of them at home. She spends time researching their favorite things in magazines and prepares everything herself. That night, as she's getting everything ready, Haruka and Minho start arguing over the cake. Yuri tries to calm them down, saying it doesn't matter and that she loves the cream too. But they keep fighting. Han steps in, trying to stop them for Yuri's sake, since she worked so hard to prepare this party. She becomes frustrated and upset because they ruined the party she planned for them. In anger, she throws one of the pastries she made at them. It ends up hitting Han. The three of them are stunned by her outburst, since she's usually very calm. When they look at her, they see her fainting. The brothers panic and rush to her, carrying her to her room. After a while, she regains consciousness, and they all apologize for what happened. She also apologizes to Han for hitting him. Then they all decide to sleep in the same room together. Later, we see them practicing hard for their upcoming concert, giving it their all with Yuri by their side, watching and supporting them. A few days later, it's finally concert day. Yuri brings them food and looks for their dressing room. On the way, she accidentally bumps into a young man, apologizes quickly and walks away, but her ID card falls. The young man picks it up and we see he recognizes her and looks happy. Yuri eventually finds the room and gives the brothers some food and snacks before the show. She also notices that Han isn't there. They tell her he likes to spend time alone before going on stage, so Yuri goes to find him bringing his favorite food. When she finds him, she offers the food but senses that he isn't happy. She asks him if he's nervous or doesn't feel like eating. He replies to her saying no, so she tells him not to worry, that she believes in him and knows he'll be very successful as always. He then asks her if she encourages everyone the same way, but she doesn't quite understand what he really means. He moves closer and asks her what she would do if he truly loved her, not as a little sister, but with real romantic feelings. She becomes flustered and nervous, unsure how to respond. So, she just wishes him luck and rushes off. Later, the concert begins. The venue is packed, and the three brothers take the stage to perform. The audience cheers loudly, calling out their names. Yuri stands there, smiling happily for them, but Han's words echo in her mind. She tells herself that when he said those things, it felt like her heart stopped. Suddenly, the lights go out, and the three brothers freeze, unable to continue singing. Yuri remembers all the effort they put into preparing for this concert, and she doesn't want it to be ruined. So, she takes out her phone, turns on the flashlight, and loudly tells them to keep going. The audience follows her lead, turning on their own flashlights. The scene becomes magical, and the brothers are touched by the love and support. The lights come back on, and they continue their performance. That night, Han thanks Yuri for what she did. Then, he confesses his love for her. Yuri is stunned, speechless. The next day, after school, she stands alone, thinking about his confession. Suddenly, Haruka shows up and asks her to walk home with him. She asks how he knew where to find her, and he says he can always locate her using GPS. She's happy to know he worries about her. Just then, the young man she bumped into the day before the concert passes by. We learn his name is Soyun, a friend of the three brothers. He greets Haruka but notices Yuri and approaches her, reminding her that he's her childhood friend, someone she used to think of as an older brother. She remembers him and is thrilled to see him. Soyun hugs her and lifts her in joy. Haruka tells him that Yuri is now their little sister, since her mom married their father. Soyun then asks for permission to speak to her privately. They sit and chat, reminiscing about old memories. Soyun tells her that he's about to debut as an idol under the same agency as Trixion. Yuri wishes him success. Later, when the rest of the group arrives, she rejoins them. Soyun recalls how he once told her as a child that he wanted to become a prince to protect her. We find out he decided to become an idol because of her. Then, he sees Han holding Yuri's hand and realizes he has feelings for her. Soyun quickly rushes over, kisses her on the cheek, and tells Han that he won't give her up. Yuri is deeply embarrassed and runs away, leaving them both. Han glares at Soyun with a challenging look, silently declaring that Yuri is his and he won't let her go. The next day, after school, Soyun waits for Yuri. She tries to run away, but he catches up to her and hands back the ID card she dropped on the night of the concert. He insists on walking her home and tells her he won't give up. He wants to be her perfect prince. He hugs her again while Yuri stands there nervous, unable to tell him that she actually loves Han. The following day, Yuri goes on her first official date with Han. He takes her to a historic palace and they tour it together. Later, they have a meal at a restaurant nearby. A staff member approaches Han and asks if he could step in to play the prince in a performance being held at the palace, since the original actor is sick. Han agrees, but only if Yuri plays the princess alongside him. They perform together with Han wearing a mask, and the audience is enchanted, saying they truly look like a prince and princess. During the performance, Yuri finally confesses her love to him. The next morning, she wakes up shocked at what she did. Embarrassed, she gets ready for school. When she sees Han, she greets him quickly and walks away. Even at school, she tries to avoid him completely, not letting him see her. Han notices her strange behavior and talks to her about it. She opens up about how she feels, and he reassures her, saying there's no need to rush their relationship. She hugs him, feeling relieved that he understands her. He leaves with his brothers, and she waves goodbye from the window. Just as she's about to leave, a fellow student stops her and shows her a picture of her and Han together. He threatens to post it online and claims they're dating. Yuri denies it, saying they're just siblings. Then he shows her a photo of his band, revealing that he's a member of Soyun's group. His name is Kang, and he tells her Soyun likes her. He can't understand what makes her special, so he demands that she pretend to date him. He wants to see for himself what made both Han and Soyun fall for her. Reluctantly, Yuri agrees, fearing he'll post the picture otherwise. Students are surprised to see them together, and Kang casually tells everyone she's his girlfriend. Yuri is embarrassed and runs to the rooftop. Kang follows and asks if she and Han are truly together. She denies it. He admits he thought pretending to be with her would be fun and help him figure things out. But after spending time with her and seeing how kind and genuine she is, he decides to delete the photos and start fresh. He tells her their agency is looking for a girl to star in their first music video and offers to recommend her if she's interested. Yuri sees it as a great opportunity, one that might help her feel worthy of Han. When she goes to ask Han for his opinion, he immediately agrees when he sees that she wants to participate. He hugs her and tells her that he has never seen her as just an ordinary girl, and that as long as she wants to do this, he would never stand in her way. Then his brothers arrive, having heard everything, and they encourage her too, telling her to take this opportunity and go for it. The next day, she goes to film the music video, where she'll play the role of Princess Minjun. We also find out the band is called Prism, made up of 4 guys, Soyun, Yamato, Dong, and Shin, who are all playing princes competing for her. A few days later, the manager of the Trixion group invites Yuri to sit with them as he speaks to the Prism band. He informs them that their first music video was a huge success and that everyone is loving them. Yuri gets up to bring them drinks, while the manager continues explaining that they need to appear more in tomorrow's music program. The next day, Prism performs first in the music show, followed by Han and his brothers. Yuri stands by them to cheer them on. 2 days later, it's Trixion's first day of training. Yuri brings them food, but the manager stops her from entering and tells her the boys won't be going home for a while due to the intense training. She understands and leaves, but runs into Soyun, who looks exhausted. She takes him home to rest and cares for him until he feels better. When the Trixion group returns from training, Soyun has already left. Haruka tells her that they're all going on a hot spring trip. She asks if she's going too, and he says, "Of course, because they're all one family." Yuri is overjoyed and goes to pack while Han stays back to hug her, saying he missed her a lot. During the trip, Yuri finds herself alone because the others are busy, which upsets her. Then Dong from Prism shows up. We find out their group is also on this trip, and he suggests she try the hot springs instead of staying alone. She agrees and goes in, not realizing it's now the men's time. She's shocked to find Han already inside. He tells her it's the men's session now. She apologizes and is about to leave, but hears someone coming. Han tells her to hide quickly. It turns out to be Soyun, who starts talking to Han about her, and Yuri is heartbroken to hear that Soyun also has feelings for her. After Soyun leaves, Han helps her out and they sit together. She tells him he's a handsome idol and that hearing his voice always makes her happy, but she wishes he would spend time with her just as himself, not as the idol. She hugs him. After the hot spring trip ends, everyone returns to their normal lives. We then see Yuri training in basketball with the school team. She wants to join the upcoming tournament where the best player will get a special reward. The Trixion group will perform and sing for them for a whole day, but because she's not good at playing, the other players bully her, and one girl even tries to hit her with the ball. Yamato shows up and defends her, saying he'll personally train her. Yuri thanks him, but says she can't train with him because people will get the wrong idea. Yamato realizes she's avoiding it because of Han, and tells her to focus on becoming the best player she can be. She decides to train on her own and thanks Yamato for his encouragement. Later, she tells Han she'll be coming home late due to training. Han looks a bit upset and asks if Yamato is the one training her like he heard. She tells him she didn't feel comfortable training with Yamato, so she'll do it alone. Han is relieved and supports her. He even gives her his bracelet, which makes her super happy. We then see Yuri creating a cooking schedule for the four of them since she'll be too busy training. A few days pass, and the championship is just 1 day away. While training at the court, her teammates ask her to return the basketballs to storage after practice. She agrees. When Yuri goes to return the balls, the other girls lock her in the storage room. They do this out of jealousy because Yamato is paying her special attention. They tell her they'll open the door for her only after the tournament ends. Yuri keeps knocking on the door, desperate to get out. Suddenly, she hears a sound and sees that it's Yamato, who had been sleeping nearby. She rushes to him and asks if he has a phone. He takes it out, but unfortunately, it's dead. Yuri starts losing her temper, scared that she won't be able to attend the tournament after all the hard work she's put in. She bangs on the door again while Yamato tries to calm her down. Meanwhile, Trixion's manager tells the group that Prism won first place and Trixion came second. The 3 boys are shocked. They've held first place for 3 years. The manager adds that this might be the end for Trixion and that the company could replace them with Prism. Han gets angry and insists that Trixion will never end. Back in the storage room, it starts to rain and thunder. Yamato, terrified of thunder since childhood, accidentally hugs Yuri. He apologizes and explains his fear. Later, Prism and Soyun discover that Yamato and Yuri are missing. Yamato, feeling awkward, places a barrier between himself and Yuri to avoid getting too close. But when he's scared again, Yuri sits beside him and says she'll stay until the thunder stops. Yamato tells her he made the barrier because he thought she didn't like him and would be uncomfortable being with him until morning. She laughs and says he's silly and completely wrong. Suddenly, she sneezes, so he takes off his jacket and gently places it over her. Then they hear voices outside. Yuri calls out. Others hear her. They open the door and rescue them. The next day is the tournament. Yuri wins the first round. Yamato comes to talk to her, and they both spot Han, who clearly looks upset. Han tells Yamato to stay away from his sister. They step outside the court to talk, and we learn that Yamato also has feelings for Yuri. Han senses this and tells him to back off because Yuri is his girlfriend. Yamato responds by warning Han that just like Trixion's popularity is fading, he might lose Yuri too. He says only time will tell who she ends up with, then walks away. The second round of the match begins. Yuri gives it her all, and her team wins. She's even awarded Best Player. The teacher announces her name in front of everyone, revealing she's the top player and winner of the prize. But when her name is called, she doesn't show up. That's when Han and his brothers enter, and we find out Yuri chose to share her prize with everyone. She asked for a special performance for the rest of the students instead. The boys perform, and everyone cheers and chants the band's name happily. After the performance, they head out and meet Yuri, who praises their show and thanks them. But when she goes to talk to Han, he suddenly tells her he wants to break up and go back to being just siblings for now. Then he walks away, leaving her in shock. We later learn Han did this because he wants to focus on rebuilding the band's popularity and making Trixion #1 again. The company is planning a big training camp for all the groups, and there's a major award for the most loved and popular group. Han is determined that Trixion will win it, but that won't happen unless he gives it his all. The next day, their manager tells Yuri to go wake up the boys because they're heading to a training camp for the upcoming prize competition, and she'll be going with them too. A little while later, they arrive at the camp location. When they enter, they discover that the Prism team is also there, and both groups will be training together. The managers from both bands explain the camp's rules and tell them that only one group will win the prize. The most important thing they stress is that the winner must be from their agency. After that, the teams split up to begin training. Trixion trains for a long time. During their break, Yuri brings them water, but Han refuses to take it from her and ignores her completely, which surprises his brothers. That night, snow starts to fall. Soyeon steps outside and finds Yuri enjoying the snow. They talk about their childhood memories and he hugs her, telling her he loves her, will always stay by her side and protect her. But she pulls away, and he asks if she loves Han. Embarrassed, Yuri quickly says, "Of course not." But Soyeon realizes she actually does love Han. He tells her she'll always be the most important girl to him and walks away, heading back inside. A little later, we see Yuri searching for Han's bracelet, the one he gave her, which she accidentally dropped. Han realizes she's missing and goes looking for her. When he finds her and asks what she's doing, she explains she's searching for his bracelet. He tells her it's not important and that they can look for it later. It's too cold now, but she insists, saying the bracelet means a lot to her and she has to find it before the snow falls again. Han starts to feel guilty for ignoring her all this time, even though she didn't do anything wrong. Suddenly, Yuri collapses from the cold. Han carries her to her room and takes care of her. The next day, she's feeling better. She and Han make up and she cooks for everyone. The whole group eats together and loves her food, thanking her over and over. Suddenly, they hear noise outside. When they go to check, they find a crowd of reporters gathered. A photo of Soyeon and Yuri has been published, suggesting they're in a romantic relationship and that she'll star in Prism's next music video. Everyone rushes back inside, shocked by the news. Yamato steps in to explain that he was the one who recommended Yuri for the video, not Soyeon. Yuri confirms this and says the rumors are false. Unfortunately, the training is cancelled because of the scandal. Soyeon is told to stay home and avoid going out for a while. A few days pass and Yuri sees all the harsh online comments about Soyeon. She gets really upset for him. Han checks on her and tells her to rest because being anxious won't fix anything. It'll only wear her out. She thanks him for his concern. Later, Yuri visits Soyeon and tells him she's willing to go to the magazine and publish an article denying all the rumors. But Soyeon stops her. He says he doesn't want her to get dragged into it and risk getting hurt because of him. Yuri insists he's her childhood friend, and he's helped her a lot over the years. She wants to support him because he's a good person who's always been kind and never hurt her. Soyeon is touched by her words, kisses her, and confesses that he loves her. Then, he asks her not to get involved with the press and promises to handle everything himself. The next day at school, Shin approaches Yuri and asks her to go home and change clothes because he needs her help with something. After Yuri finishes, she and Shin go to a night spot to look for Yamato, who has been missing and skipping practice. They find him staying up late there. While they search, two guys start bothering Yuri, trying to get her to drink with them. She's scared and doesn't know what to do until Yamato shows up, drives them away, and takes her with him. Later, Shin speaks with Yamato and asks him to return to training, but Yamato refuses, saying practice no longer has any meaning for him. Shin gets upset and walks off. Yuri also tries to talk to Yamato, telling him he should come back. That's when Yamato confesses that he loves her. Yuri is shocked and doesn't know how to respond. Suddenly, the two guys from earlier start filming them. After realizing that Yamato's famous, they threaten to expose him, accusing him and his group of being fake, saying they only pretend to be good people for fame and fans. They threaten to throw a drink on Yuri unless he admits it. Yuri, upset, throws a drink on herself and defends Yamato and the group. The man gets angry and pushes her, and she's about to fall on glass when Han rushes in, catches her just in time, and gets injured in her place. Han is taken to the hospital, and he tells his manager that the doctor advised him to rest for a while. His brothers are just happy that both he and Yuri are okay. Yuri explains that Yamato carried her to the hospital quickly, and the doctor treated her wound, which is why she's fine. Han tells them he'll do his best to recover in time for the competition, but then their manager shocks everyone by saying they will be withdrawing and leaving the prize to Prism. Han refuses. He insists he will perform and win the prize. He won't let it go to anyone else. Yamato tries to talk him out of it, saying it would be better to step down with dignity than to fail and disappoint his fans, but Han stays determined. Everyone leaves, and Yuri is about to leave too, but Han stops her. He asks her to stay a little longer. She refuses, saying she doesn't want to stay with him anymore because she causes him too many problems, even getting him hospitalized. Han tells her he causes problems too, and that the good image people see is just one side of him. In reality, he has flaws too. He takes her hand and tells her he will stand on stage and prove to her that her rightful place is by his side. She tells him he's still sick and won't be able to perform. Han asks her to trust him. He will do his part, stand on stage, and win the prize. Yuri decides to stay with him and support him. She encourages him to give it his all. They hug. Meanwhile, his brothers try to convince their manager and the main producer to let them stay in the competition. The producer refuses at first, but then Prism arrives and asks that Trixion be allowed to participate so they can compete with honor as originally planned. They plead until the producer finally agrees. Haruka and Minho begin training for their performance, while Yuri films them so Han can keep up with the training remotely. Despite his condition, Han trains as best he can. Prism also continues preparing for their performance. Finally, the performance day arrives. Han wraps his injury. The group asks Yuri to watch from backstage, telling her that her presence motivates them. She's touched and agrees. Prism performs first, and the crowd goes wild, cheering their name loudly. After they finish, it's Trixion's turn. They thank Yuri for helping them grow closer and stop fighting. They prepare and step onto the stage. The three of them perform in perfect harmony until suddenly Han drops to his knees. His brothers drop too, making it seem like part of the choreography. The performance turns out amazing, so good that even Prism watches them in admiration. Yuri watches proudly. After the performance, she praises them and tells them how amazing they were. Han takes her home, and they finally decide to be together. He promises to protect their love and careers, and to give it his all to become a big star. Yuri is overjoyed and cheers him on. At last, they're together after overcoming so many challenges, but through love, they conquered them all. And with that, our story ends here. Please like and subscribe. See you in the next drama.